Hey everybody, it's John from the Hustle Daily Show. Before we get into the show today, did you know that HubSpot launched an AI chatbot that helps you build awesome campaigns at scale with just a few prompts? It's called Campaign Assistant, and it's a totally free-to-use AI tool made for marketers and business leaders who spend hours a day on content creation. Campaign Assistant will transform the way that you build marketing campaigns at scale. Craft personalized emails, ads, and landing pages in just a matter of minutes. Just pick the content type, add the key selling points, and let the AI take it from there. And the best part, it works seamlessly with all of HubSpot's marketing and sales tools to scale your output across email, social, and more. So AI your way into the most effective campaigns yet at HubSpot.com/campaign-assistant.
Howdy, folks. It is Monday, May 15th. Jacob here, and you are listening to The Hustle Daily Show. Today we're going to be talking about an expensive industry most of you have honestly probably never actually, thought about. And that's air ambulances. As improving tech and an aging population paint a rosy picture for airlift providers, other industries probably wish they were flying high like air ambulances are, and we'll get into this in a bit, but first let's take a quick look at what else is happening in the world of business and tech. Let's get correct-lacking. Okay, first things first, today in AI. During Google's I/O Developer Conference last week, the company amped up the volume on its AI love song to, get this, level 143 in the form of mentions of the word AI. Yes, it was said 143 times throughout the conference. CEO Sundar Pichai led the charge by saying AI more than one time per minute during his keynote. The term generative got 30 mentions, probably, I would imagine, generating some eye rolls in the process. By the way, I'm not sure this is discussed enough, but Sundar Pichai literally has the word AI in his name. We should take a look into that further, possibly at another time. By the way, Google employees, some of which have been pretty vocal internally about the company's seemingly late start to the public AI race it's now in with OpenAI and Microsoft, seem to be pleased with the company's event and AI announcements throughout it. According to CNBC, in conversations on internal message boards, employees credited engineers for working quickly to push out AI products, helping bump up the company's stock. Okay, moving along. There's a bird right outside my window, so this next one seems relevant. Since we last spoke, there's been a major update over at Twitter. Let's get into it. A name you probably have never heard before that you're suddenly going to be hearing a lot more of is Linda Yaccarino. Elon Musk hired her to replace him as Twitter's new CEO, and she'll be starting in around 6 weeks. She'll primarily be in charge of business operations, while Musk will transition to executive chair and chief technology officer. Super quick bio on her. She's a longtime advertising executive who's worked at NBC Universal for around 12 years, most recently leading a 2,000-person team as chairman of global advertising and partnerships, according to her own bio. Since 2011, her team has generated more than $100 billion in advertising sales. So not bad, you could say, right? Elon Musk tweeted, looking forward to working with Linda to transform this platform into X, the everything app. All right, up next, love Alexa, but wish you could trip over her more often? Good, you're in luck. You're going to love Amazon's Hush Hush Astro device, a household robot now rumored to be increasingly packed with AI-powered home monitoring and communications features. It currently is sold for $1,600, but only for those with an invitation to actually purchase it. According to internal documents from Amazon seen by Business Insider recently, the company's going to use language technology similar to that behind tools like ChatGPT to give this device a layer of conversational spoken interfacing. Basically, soon you could be using Astro to capture the context of a situation at home or a conversation at home and have it respond as needed. For instance, according to the documents, Astro could see a stove left burning and come find you to let you know. Or it could help you find your keys. Or if you fall down and it notices, it can ask you if you want to call 911 if necessary. I also wouldn't be surprised if somehow down the road, Amazon integrates tech from its proposed $1.7 billion acquisition of home cleaning robot company iRobot with this technology, creating some kind of super household robot, though that purchase of iRobot is currently being probed by antitrust regulators. In other news, inflation, am I right? As Ben wrote in today's newsletter, back in his day, all it took was a few $100 million to buy an NFL team, but the Washington Commanders officially agreed to be sold for $6.05 billion over the weekend, setting a new world record in sports team pricing. In the process, Dan Snyder agreed to sell the Commanders to a group of investors led by Josh Harris, who also owns the NBA's Sixers and NHL's Devils. Moving along, hold on to your yarmulkes. Sotheby's is set to hold an auction of biblical proportions this week with the private sale of the Codex Sassoon, considered the earliest, most complete Hebrew Bible in existence. Owning it will be a testament, you could say, to one's wealth, with the 1,100-year-old 26-pound Bible expected to go for some $30 to $50 million. Also, taco bout riding trends, with Mexican food sales projected to grow by almost $114 billion through 2026. Hot sauce aficionado Cholula is quite literally turning up the heat on competition. The company, which was bought by McCormick for $800 million in 2020, is expanding outside of hot sauce for the first time, spicing things up with new salsas and seasoning blends. And lastly, looks like job satisfaction is reaching new heights, leaving employees on cloud 9 to 5. According to the Conference Board's latest survey, 62.3% of U.S. workers said they were satisfied with their job last year, the highest number since 1987, when the organization began surveying. Satisfaction has been steadily going up since it bottomed out in 2010 at 42.6%. And with that, let's get to today's main story. Feeling old? Well, that's you and the rest of humanity. Between 2015 and 2050, the proportion of the world's population over 60 years old will nearly double from 12% to 22%, or to more than 2 billion people, according to the World Health Organization. And one industry is preparing to double with it, and that is air ambulances. Market researchers identify U.S. air ambulance services as a fast-growing sector, expected to rise 10.6% annually from around $14.7 billion in 2022 to almost $33 billion by 2030. And that's according to a new report from consultancy Research and Markets. More medics in the sky should hopefully mean more lives saved. And that's especially true, however, if there are more advancements in the sky with them. So per Vertical Magazine, if you want to see what the future of medical transport looks like in the sky, go to Norway. Yes, the Norwegian Air Ambulance Foundation is testing CAT scanners in their helicopters. And you may be wondering, a CAT scanner in a helicopter? Wouldn't that be too heavy for a chopper? And the answer is kind of yes, which is why the foundation has nanotechnology engineers developing lighter scanners that require fewer parts. The foundation is also a testing partner for Airbus's automated electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, better known as eVTOL. The first flight for those is planned for 2024 without a pilot. Now, switching gears a bit, air ambulances may not have sirens, but alarm bells will still be going off around them because growth isn't a given in an industry with major limiting factors like this, including staffing, right? Trained medical personnel can be expensive and hard to find, let alone those trained to fly. Another, weather. Fleets may be unable to fly in bad weather, limiting adoption and investment. Perhaps the stickiest issue is cost, right? Who gets stuck with the bills for these ambulances? Families, insurance providers, and medical transport operators have already spent years ducking that out in courtrooms. Last year, a company called Air Methods booked $46.1 million in adjusted earnings for the quarter ended in June, which was down 58% year over year from $110.3 million, which, according to Bloomberg, was a turbulent plunge spurred by inflation, labor shortages, and new legal regulations put in place with the No Surprises Act, which restricts how much patients have to pay for out-of-network emergency care. Now, that's a big deal because prices for medical airlifts can run sky high, as high as $40,000 per flight today, according to Bloomberg. And I don't know, maybe someone in Norway can run some nanotech experiments to bring those bills down in size too. What do you think? Let us know. And bada bing, bada boom, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in to the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Ezra Trupiano, and our executive producer is Darren Clarke. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter, which you can sign up for at thehustle.co/email. Hope you have an awesome Monday. Great start to the week. Go on, get out of here. See you tomorrow.
Let me tell you about a show that I've been loving lately. It's called Entrepreneurs on Fire. It's hosted by the incredible John Lee Dumas. It's available now on the HubSpot Podcast Network. Entrepreneurs on Fire stokes inspiration and shares strategies to fire up your entrepreneurial journey and create the life that you've always dreamed of. I'm a big fan of this podcast. It has energy, it has value, and it's all about learning about entrepreneurship. I was just listening to an episode the other day. JLD interviewed Jay Rogers, who was such a wealth of information. He kind of went into how entrepreneurship chooses you. You don't necessarily choose it, and that failure only happens when you stop trying to win. A lot of gems in this one, so I'd highly recommend checking out that particular episode along with the rest. So go listen to Entrepreneurs on Fire wherever you get your podcasts. Hey guys, if you listen to the Hustle Daily Show on Google Podcasts, we want to let you know that the option will no longer be available pretty soon. Google is sunsetting its podcast app sometime in early 2024 in favor of YouTube Music, and we want to give you a heads up before it's too late, since that time's almost here. The Hustle Daily Show is available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're using YouTube Music, we are there as well. If you're an Android fan, there are plenty of apps like Overcast, Pocket Casts, Player FM, and more. So just search for us wherever you decide to listen to your favorite podcasts.